So if you know it's 6.8, then it's whatever that is minus that, whatever it weighs, or it tells you in there.
This tells me what the total weight is.
Right.
So I zero it out, and then it will tell me how many exactly ounces I'm putting in.
Cool.
To the quarter ounce. See the gauge? Oh, it's in a 28-degree vacuum. That's where we want it to be. So I just put my lines up, hooked up to the system, so I'm going to push on this. It's going to be a little psst. That's what was in the hoses. So now I have a complete vacuum. There's no air in the system. That's a completely purged unit.
Which is what you want.
Is what you want.
Empty, no leaks, ready for freon.
Make sure it's set on ounces, and the point's right here by the first zero. Okay, we want 6.8 ounces. You'll hear the compressor start to change sound as it starts to pressurize. Also, this line right here, which is a high side line, will start to get extremely hot if you've done it correctly. It's pulling the heat out of the box, starting to frost, and then expelling the heat through the condenser. When you're all done charging it, you should be 0 to 5 pounds of pressure on the freezer on the low side.
So do you do 28? It's 28 here, and then it's also 28 there when you're, or no?
You're going to want it to be between 0 and 5.
I know, but right now.
That's just charging pressure. That's from the tank.
Oh.
So I don't like to go over 30 to 40 pounds of pressure while I'm charging.
Okay.
Because it can lock the compressor up. It's too much at once. Since I'm charging it with the compressor running, I try to take my time.
Easy does it.
Yeah. Then you want to charge gas to the compressor, not liquid. It can cause it to lock up.
And how did you calculate 6.8?
So the model number tag says that it takes 8 ounces of R12. We're using hot shot, which is 85%. So I times 0.085 times 8 and gave me 6.8.
Gotcha. How do you know when you shouldn't do a compressor install? Like you should replace it at that point.
If the cost of the compressor replacement outweighs the purchase of a new one, if there's internal body damage that cannot be repaired, if you suspect a leak somewhere in the Yoda loop or somewhere else that you can't identify, then don't try to sell a compressor. Inform them that the unit's not going to be
Worth it.
Guaranteed to work after the compressor install. We don't like to do things that aren't guaranteed.
Right. Where's the Yoda loop?
The Yoda loop is the part of the high side that goes from the compressor down the center of most refrigerators, down the center into a pan underneath. What that does is it heats up because it's part of the condensing unit. It helps the gaskets seal and make a good close. It also sometimes has a drain pan underneath where water accumulates from the defrost. That heat on the Yoda loop helps expel the water so that you don't have to be emptying the drain pan every month like we used to.
And you went to 7 because that's the closest it would get to 6.8?
So I stopped it at 6.8, and it just is showing 7, but it's right there.
And you're just waiting for this to go back down to between 0 and 5? 5
Not
and
really.
10?
I mean, I am, but I'm not really. Because it's not jumping back down into a vacuum, I'm not concerned. I don't have to wait for it. That'll be the normalized pressure when it's done. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to test to make sure that the line's getting hot, that I have no frost buildup on the low side. Everything looks good.
And you're done?
Pretty much just got to button it up, put seals on the valves that you've just installed, screw in the back panel.
And seals like this one?
Yes, just like that. You want to cap it off because these are access valves like on a tire.
Right.
So sometimes they can leak. If you put another cap on
It won't.
Well, it still could, but it helps prevent it if it does.
Okay. And that's how it's done.